Hi guys, so I was planning out this month's favourites video, and if you've just seen my last two videos, I did a summer edit, which was kind of a roundup of all my summer favourites and bits like that. So it was kind of the same thing that would have been featured in my monthly favourites, because they're all the things I've been loving at the moment. So I decided to do something a little bit different this month. I'm literally just going to talk about my 5 or 6 top favourite products, and then I've got a few non-beauty favourites as well, so something a little bit different, a little bit fun, and I hope you enjoy. So the majority of the things I have here are makeup, so I'll start off with that. And the first product is something that I've just so glad that I found, that I actually bought, and it's the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder. I think this is probably not only my favourite product of the moment, but just of the whole entire year. I'm so glad I have one. And this is in the colour Dim Light, and there's such a massive hype surrounding these, you should all know about. And some people are thinking, you know, is it worth the hype? Do I really need to spend £40 nearly on a powder? And I just have to say, yes, absolutely. Yes, I cannot get enough of this stuff. I just dust it on, layers and layers of it all day. I think if you're the sort of person who likes to set your makeup down with a powder, but you don't like the kind of really matte, like cakey finish some of them can have, this is just amazing. It's like brushing like silk onto your skin. It looks so glowy and radiant, but you can tell that it's really set everything down and just helps your makeup stay so much longer. So my second favourite is a product that I've kind of had a bit of a love-hate relationship with. I've never really got on with it, but I've just recently been using it in this last month and a half, and really liking it. And it's the Bobbi Brown Corrector. This is in the colour Bisque, and when I first got this I was so excited because it's supposed to be the complete like dark circle banisher, and I put it on and it just creased completely, so I was a bit unimpressed. I kind of used it a couple more times and then just forgot about it. But it's basically a really thick creamy concealer, but this one in particular is kind of really warm tone, so it balances out any dark circles, any bluiness that you get under the eye, and it's just designed to use under concealer as well, so you kind of layer up the products. And I always found that was just far too much, but I've been using it now and I've been putting just literally, you need the tiniest little dot and it goes such a long way. It's quite a thick kind of sticky consistency, but if you really pat it into the skin it does sit quite nicely. But I've been using the Origins Plantscription concealer on top of it, which is just my absolute favourite concealer at the moment, and probably of all time actually. I just find those two work really nicely together. They sit really well on top of each other and there's no creasing or anything like that, and it does really brighten up your eyes. So the next favourite I have here is an eyeshadow, and this was kind of a spontaneous purchase at the beginning of the month. I was using a Bourjois eyeshadow that I absolutely loved, but it was it didn't have a pan, and I had it in my Z palette, which is like a little magnetic palette that you can put all sorts of different things into, and it was really hard to carry around to take with me. So I went into MAC and I was looking at all the colours and trying to find a really similar one, because MAC eyeshadows pretty good like pigmentation, you know, they're really good quality and they're just so tiny you can take them anywhere. And I found this one which is called Bronze, and it's a frost, so it's slightly shimmery, but it's not, I wouldn't say like too glittery, it's not too frosty, but it's just the perfect warm tone bronze. It's kind of similar to the Paint Pot in Eclair, which I've also been really loving, but it's just a little bit lighter. So I've just been dusting this really faintly over my lids, just all over, just one colour, just with mascara, and then like a nice bright lip or even just a neutral lip. It looks really pretty, so it's something that I've been getting so much wear out of this month. So I've got a few brushes here, and I think these have become a slightly controversial topic, but they're the Real Techniques limited edition duo fibre brushes. There are actually 3 in the set, but I only have 2. I used the smaller one, which is kind of like an eyeshadow brush, and I really didn't like it. It pains me to say it, but it was really scratchy. It didn't have much like give to it, much movement. It didn't really put my eyeshadow on well, even in like a cream eyeshadow, which I think it would be best with because it's duo fibre. It just didn't really seem to work. So that one kind of got shoved into the drawer, and I was a bit disappointed about that. But these ones I do really like. They're a small brush here which is called the contour brush, and there's the bigger one which is called the face brush, and I've been using this one for bronzer, and I find it's lovely because you don't get too much product on the brush, because it's quite sparse at the top here because it's a duo fibre one. You just get a tiny amount and you can't go like too much with it, so dusting a bit bronzer all over the face just gives a really nice kind of natural glow with this one. And then the contour brush similarly has like a really sparse top, so I've been using this for highlighter, just dusting up my cheekbones, down the bridge of my nose, maybe a little bit on my forehead. And again, I just find because you don't get too much product on there, it just gives it a really nice natural kind of glow. So instead of loading up too much glittery highlighter onto your face, it just gives a really soft natural finish. I know a few people aren't too impressed with the whole collection, but I do think these two are really good brushes if you want quite a minimal effect when you put your makeup on. But the third one, the eyeshadow brush, I will try and use it again. I'm sure there's something that it could be good at, but for now I wasn't too excited about that one. Next up is a tanning product, and I did mention this in my summer favourites video, but I've just been loving it so much it deserves a second mention, and it's the Clarins Instant Smooth Self Tanning, and this is basically very similar to their Instant Smooth Primer, but it's got kind of like a fake tan in it, so you can put it on underneath makeup or just wear it alone. I usually wear it underneath makeup throughout the day, and it just gives you a really nice glow. It's not really kind of dark, it doesn't give you too much of a tan, but you know, building up gradually every couple of days or so often, it just gives you a really nice warmth to your skin. So my next favourite is from Bioderma, and I've been trying out a few of their products. Now that they stock it on essential.com, it's quite easy to get hold of. So I bought a few things and I've been trying them out, and this is the Hydra Bio. This is the gentle exfoliating cream, and recently I was saying how much I'm into kind of like chemical exfoliants, so nothing with like a gritty texture to it, more like toners and things with AHAs in them, which I've really been enjoying using. But I did find that my skin was just getting a little tiny bit of build-up of dry skin, mainly around like my nose where I get it the most, and a little bit on my forehead. So I thought I would kind of include just a really gentle scrub into my routine, and this is really nice because it is literally just the most gentle thing. I probably only use this maybe once a week, once every couple of weeks, so not a lot. But I find that it just gives you that tiny bit more exfoliant than a chemical one can do, but it doesn't feel like it's damaging your skin like some have been in the past. It doesn't feel too like scratchy or scrapey. It's just a really nice gentle exfoliant, so great if you have sensitive skin, great if you don't like anything too abrasive on your face, but I've just really been enjoying using that. And then last beauty favourite is something that I've been pretty much obsessed with since I bought it, and it's the Vaseline Spray and Go Body Moisturiser, and this is such a genius product. It's basically a can, an aerosol can with like a body lotion in it, and you just spray it out. It literally takes about a minute, less than a minute even, to moisturise your entire body, and it's got such a great scent to it too. It's the Cocoa Radiant formula, pure cocoa butter, and they actually have this in a few other products. They've got a body butter and like a body oil gel, which I used to use, but this is just the most quickest, like convenient product ever. It's so easy to use, so I literally get out of the shower, dry myself off, spray this all over, and I'm ready to go. I think for people like me who get quite lazy when it comes to moisturising, even though it's such an important step, especially in summer when you're getting your legs out, your arms out a little bit more, it's just a wonder product. So moving on to my non-beauty favourites, and I've just got a few things that I've really been enjoying this month. So first of all is a pair of boots, and these are actually from Primark. You all know my love for Primark. I just can't help myself. Cheap and cheerful, you know, sometimes you get a really good bargain there, so I do always like shopping there. So these are my summer boots, and I am into sandals. I do like wearing flats and things, but I'm more of a boot person, so I like the way they look with shorts and dresses and things like that, and I just fell in love with these when I saw them. They were so cheap. I think they were probably about £10, and they just got like tassels. They're kind of like a fake suede effect, I guess. But they're really nice. They're not too high, nice colour to wear with most outfits, and I've just been wearing those so much this month. I kind of go through phases of reading my Kindle. I kind of won't put it down for days on end, and then I won't touch it for a week. So I thought I'd buy myself a new case to kind of get me back into reading, because I'm going on holiday this week, and I thought it'd be a good thing to take along with me. So I found this in Paperchase, which is one of my absolute favourite shops. I cannot get enough of all things stationery for some reason, but I thought it was just really cool because it's loads of books lined up, and what could be better to put your Kindle in. For anyone's interested, I've just finished reading Lesson Zero by Bret Easton Ellis, who's one of my favourite authors. I always seem to read that book, you know, every couple of months or so. And I've just started reading The Beautiful and Damned by F. Scott Fitzgerald, who also wrote The Great Gatsby, which is one of my favourite books too. So if you follow my Instagram, you should know that I do like my food, but this month I've been absolutely obsessed with eating dark chocolate. I cannot seem to get enough of the stuff, so anything with dark chocolate in. I think I even bought like a dark chocolate lip balm. I've been buying this chocolate from Aldi, which is literally the cheapest stuff I came across, and it's their 70% cocoa dark chocolate, but it is so good. I cannot help but eat probably about one of these a week, which is really bad, but you know, think of the antioxidants in it. So my very last favourite is going to be a little bit hard to show you. I might have to do some fancy camera work, but it's the new camera lens that I got for my birthday last month, and it's the Canon EF 40mm 2.8 STM lens. I don't know if that's right, I'll write all the information below, but that's what I've just read off of the screen. So you might have noticed a bit of a change in quality in my videos maybe, or my blog posts over the last month, so that's all down to this lens, which is great. It's very similar to the 50mm that I used to use. It has that kind of nice depth of field, it makes things look a bit blurry in the background, but it's a lot sharper, it's a lot more distinct, and also you don't have to be so far away. With a 50mm you literally have to stand across the room, so my camera was always like a couple of metres away from me when I was filming, but this one you can keep it a lot closer, so that's really good. It's just a really lovely lens, and it makes everything look so beautiful, so I'm really happy that I got that for my birthday. So those are all my favourites of the month, and I hope you enjoyed watching that. Something just a little bit different from what I usually do, so maybe you enjoyed that a bit more. Let me know, and I will see you all soon.